Now to combating on-campus sexual assault. The odds of being sexually assaulted on campus are, get this, 1 in 5. That's 20%. And even more attacks never get reported at all. Colleges aren't required to report suspected rape cases to police, so many handle allegations internally. And adding insult to injury, many schools require victims of sex assaults to essentially prosecute their own cases, to question and be questioned by their alleged attackers. Our senior political producer, Karen McBride, spoke with a woman who knows all too well the trauma that an attack and the system can bring. Karen?
Andrew, 22-year-old Sarah Tubbs of Montrose is now looking to the courts to fight for changes to the system. Sarah is suing Stony Brook University on Long Island and the man she says attacked her over a sexual assault she says happened there last January. Sarah says she was sexually assaulted following a campus party in January 2014. She was drinking, her attorneys say, accompanied a student to his dorm room to have sex, but changed her mind and tried to resist. They say that's when he attacked her. She reported the incident to campus police a few days later, but was told she did not have a viable case. And later, a student disciplinary panel did not find in Sarah's favor. Sarah is now suing for financial damages and for a court order to abolish the practice where victims prosecute their own cases. I spoke with Sarah earlier today about her ordeal, the emotional toll it's taken, and her struggles for justice. Here's what she had to say. Sarah, it's been over a year now since this horrific incident, and this happened on a college campus, a place where you think you would feel safe. In addition to all of the other emotions and feelings that you'd had, was there a sense of betrayal?
Definitely. I called Stony Brook my home for 4 years. I worked with the university for 3 years. And when you're at home, you think that you're going to be safe. And you would think that if something did happen where you were put in danger, the university would respond appropriately to make you feel safe from that point on, which didn't happen.
And after all of this happened, you still had to go on. You still had to go to your classes, you still had your work. And you're walking around a campus knowing that the person who hurt you was on that campus with you.
Right after the incident happened, I couldn't get out of bed for a couple of days. And then once I started being able to get up, I had to be walked everywhere with a friend because I was afraid that he would come find me. Even in my own room, I still didn't feel safe.
And even though this was, like we said, a little over a year ago, you still relive this, and you have nightmares and anxiety, and you've been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. I know you have a therapy dog, Fiona. Talk about that. How is your life now?
In one sense, it feels like I'm trying to juggle 3 different jobs, full-time jobs at once. Being a full-time advanced standing graduate student for social work and keeping up with the demands of graduate school with a internship, and then having the lawsuit, and then trying to continue to piece back my life and take back control of my own life again, and trying to heal.
Sarah, you still had summoned up the courage to fight back. You went to the college seeking their help in getting disciplinary charges filed against your alleged attacker, and they told you that you personally were going to have to prosecute this case, and you were going to have to question and be cross-examined by your attacker.
I think coming from the mental state that I was at when they told me, they expressed it so calmly, like it was normal when they told me a week before the hearing that I would have to do this. And in my head, I was like, this seems off, but I wasn't at the mental capacity to really like push back and question them. And honestly, preparing an opening statement, preparing witnesses, preparing questions for witnesses, I was completing finals and I was being an attorney at the same time.
Now, you couldn't see him in the room. There was a paper divider or...
There was a paper screen with a hole in it, so technically no.
But he was talking to you.
Yes.
What was the most difficult part of that for you?
Hearing his voice, hands down. It's the voice that I hear in flashbacks. It's the voice that I hear in nightmares. It's the voice that I hear if I disassociate, and having him question me about him assaulting me is just, it's something that no survivor should ever have to be a survivor and go through that experience, but no survivor should ever have to be questioned by the person that assaulted them.
And Sarah, your fight continues now. You're suing Stony Brook, and you're suing your alleged attacker. And part of the suit involves monetary damages, but a big part of this is having this process where the victim has to prosecute her or his own case. You're looking to have the courts do away with that.
I mean, I think that the whole university system across the nation needs a complete overhaul, especially at Stony Brook. I think that the system is set up to protect the university's image. It's set up to fail the victim and honestly to support the perpetrator. And by supporting the perpetrator, you're just continuing to promote rape culture, and you're continuing to promote that it's acceptable for someone to treat another human being in that manner. Because if the university's officials don't see it as a problem, then why should the students see it as a problem?
Sarah, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us and sharing your story with us. I wish you the best going forward with your case and your work and your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sarah is scheduled to appear in federal court in White Plains on March 25th. Andrew?
And you can catch more of Karen's interview with Sarah Tubbs on our website. We also reached out to Stony Brook for their comments or reaction. In a statement, the school says it cannot comment on specific litigation, including Sarah Tubbs' case. And they add the school complies with all federal policies on reported claims of sexual assaults. It offers fair hearings in those cases, and they say students can determine how much to participate in that process. Up next, the Catholic faithful say goodbye to Cardinal Edward Egan. Today, he's laid to rest. We'll have a full report on today's services right after this.